everyone, and welcome to Afternoon Live. There's a look from the Unico US Bancorp Tower over our beautiful city over downtown Portland. I'm Karen Mack. We've got a great show for you today. Our first guest is here to share his recipe for a lamb Lancashire hot pot. We welcome back to Afternoon Live. Chef Jake Madosic is here with us. Hello.
Hi.
Did I say that right?
My name or the dish? Because I always get my name right. No, you're always good. It was perfectly fine. I mean, my mama calls it a Lancashire or something, so whatever. Who knows?
Okay. We'll say it like your mama.
Yeah.
She's
always
taught
right.
you everything.
Mama's always right. Yeah.
Yep.
So the nice thing about this dish, it gets, we're going to be getting into fall eventually, after this heat wave eventually goes away. Yeah. But it's a one-pot dish. Okay. You know me. Usually I do dishes that are pretty fast. This is a 3-hour dish. But it's very front heavy, and then you walk away and you come back a couple hours later, your house smells good, and it's delicious.
It's like the slow cooker, but not a slow cooker.
Exactly. Okay. It's like if you took, shepherd's pie.
Yes.
Instead of
you made us once a great shepherd's pie, yeah.
So this is scalloped potatoes on top instead. And we're using lamb because I like lamb. I think a lot of people need to get some of those more gamey meats sometimes and try them out.
Okay.
But bone-in lamb is also in this too. So this is a bone-in like roast to get that flavor, but also make sure your guests be able to pull those bones out and don't eat them.
I'm looking at this lamb. So how do you pick out your meat?
Always, as I said, get a good friend who's a butcher or go to the butcher shop and get to know them. They'll give you good cuts. These are bone-in chops. We have about 4 here. I try to get them uniform. Of course, sometimes you're going to get a small one on the end. But you want them uniform because when you pile the potatoes on top, you want it to sort of sit evenly.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're going to first do is we've seasoned this flour with salt and pepper. But as we know, we always season our food as we go. So we're going to season this lamb a little bit more. And don't be afraid because the meat can take this salt and pepper, okay?
Okay, is that kosher?
This is kosher flake salt.
Okay.
Okay, sea salt's always a higher salinity, so I don't always love to use it. But we've put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the pot. We've already got it heating. And the reason we want to dust this is going to help bring up almost like a roux. It's also going to help brown your lamb, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to dust all sides, and we're going to throw this in, and we want this to brown for about 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And the reason is the darker you get it browned without burning it, you're going to develop more flavors, okay?
That's the trick. How do you know what's going on underneath there?
Well, you're going to watch it. Yeah, you can check it. We're cooking live now, and so we want to make sure that this part's good. Once it's in the oven, we're done. So as long as we didn't burn it before that, we're fine.
Okay.
Okay?
But see, here's the deal. Like, I always pick up my meat a little too early, and then it's stuck on the bottom, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, just walk away.
Just walk
Sometimes
away.
just walk away. And that's why we've given you other little things to do right now,
keep me busy,
so we can walk away while this side is going, okay?
Okay.
So over here we have a mandolin, and since we're going to have the potatoes on top, we should probably slice some of those first.
Okay.
That is set at a 1/4 inch thickness. You can do a 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch.
I've never used one before.
I will say it's fun. It is dangerous, so be very careful.
Okay.
You're just going to slide through, and you're going to go pretty fast.
You make me nervous.
Right there.
Like that.
And you're going to swipe as fast as you can until you run out of potato and stop. Yep. And you're going to set it down and probably do another
Next
one.
one. No cutting myself in this kitchen.
No. So while you're doing that, I'm going to check this lamb. Like I said, you can move it around a bit. We have some fat in here. We're going to let that start to get brown. It's still a little opaque, so we're going to let that sit and turn up the heat a bit, okay?
I'm focusing. I have no idea what you just said.
You're doing a great job.
Yes.
You're doing a great job. The nice thing is this combines all the ingredients of a traditional a traditional pot roast. We have some beef stock. You can use lamb stock. You can use chicken stock if you wanted something a little lighter. That is fine. You can add beer and mustard and some other accompaniments if you really wanted to. But I think we are good on potatoes. You did a great job.
I can't believe it just sliced that much.
Yeah, well, you're fast.
And there's only 4 of them.
It's fast.
Huh.
So next thing we're going to do is this is all the herbs we're going to use. We have about 3 sprigs of thyme.
Okay.
2 sprigs of rosemary, 3 fresh bay leaves, and a sprig of sage.
Okay.
You're going to take that whole bundle. You're going to set it under, and you're going to tie it all together, almost like a tea bag.
Okay.
And the reason we want to do this is because we're going to throw this all in the pot, and you want to be able to remove it for your guests so they're not picking through stems or anything, or you're trying to dig for this later.
Do I do tight?
That's it.
Double
you can
knot?
do it one more knot, yeah,
Okay.
and that'll hold it, and we should be fine there.
Boom.
So as you're starting to see, we do have some nice browning coming on here. And this is going to cook, as we said, for about, an hour and a half in the oven covered, another 40 minutes uncovered to crisp the top. So this lamb is going to cook through. So even if you don't want it that deep in color, you don't have to go that dark. We just want to brown out that flour a little bit, okay?
It's starting to smell really good, too.
Good. So what we have now going is we have our herbs ready, we have our potatoes ready. We are still going to use this, so do not move or get rid of this flour, okay? We've dusted with it. We've melted about 2 tablespoons of butter. We have 1 whole onion diced or sliced, about 2 carrots, and some garlic minced, okay?
Did you use the mandolin on the carrots too?
I did not.
Okay.
That was my chef knife skills, as we know. So we've cooked these, you know, about 4 minutes. We should be good because we have enough browning in here. We're gonna set these aside just for a second, okay?
Okay.
Let them rest a little bit. And we're gonna add our onion now, all of it.
That's so good.
We're gonna add all of our carrots. If you wanna dump that garlic in there for me, that'd be perfect.
Oh, the garlic, yep.
Yes, please. Give this a little bit of mix around. Let's season our food. As always, we know we want it to taste good, not the butter yet. We'll do some salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Exactly. And essentially, you're gonna get all these flavors developing now.
Okay.
So now that we'll let this cook, you know, another about 30, 40 seconds. You don't want to overcook them. Same thing, you want them to get a little bit of color, but they're gonna cook in the oven for a while. So we can actually add our flour because we have enough fat in there. And we're gonna be building on that roux.
Okay.
Because we want this to sort of thicken up and have some oomph to it, okay?
Yeah. How does your son, he's now 2, right?
He's almost 2.
Almost
He
2.
will-
Is he enjoying your cooking?
He loves my cooking. I found it funny. He the other day was sucking on a whole jalapeno. You know, my kids like heat, but there is a difference in heat. He likes, you know, the more Hispanic heat.
Okay.
And my other daughter, Adeline,
Yeah.
my 5-year-old, loves Asian style heat. And there's a different type of chilies. And it's funny, but he was eating ancho chili rubbed duck the other night. And you know my kids, they get pretty spoiled with good food.
Yeah, they do.
But I want them to have that good palate too.
And so if it was his birthday, what will he say that he wants for his birthday?
Well, if he would talk, because he says more mom, dad, and Nana, essentially. More is everything. So he would just say more and point at something. It's probably milk, cake, and some form of meat. He loves lamb. I cooked this the other night for him to practice, of course, because practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
And he devoured this dish, which is a great feeling.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so as you see, we get some brown bits on the bottom of this. We are going to now take our 2 cups of beef stock. I have also added 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire, you know, that fun word in
fun
here.
word to say
and we're
spell.
gonna add this. You're gonna feel it sizzle a little bit off there. And all we want to do is we want to get those bits off the bottom now. So we will stir this. And don't be afraid if it looks thin at first. This is going to thicken over time. We've had flour in here. We've built a roux. We have fat. And this is all going to develop together too and cook. And as you smell that,
Yeah, it smells amazing.
this is going to make your house smell terrific all day if you cook this. Okay.
Especially in the oven for a couple hours, and yeah.
Exactly. So as we want to do next, we want to bring this up to a simmer, okay? We are going to throw this directly in the middle. And the reason I put this in the middle is because when you go to dish, it is easier to find too. Because once you have everything in here, it's not going to move on you unless you're doing what I did, driving over here and bringing, you know, the fancy dancy magic finished product. Yes, it might be moved. We might have to dig for this, but it's right in the middle, so we know when we serve it that's where it is. So when you serve, you know you can pull it out. So as we wait for this to bring to a simmer, we're going to start adding everything back in and putting layers on this, okay?
And
so
you're like digging it to the bottom.
You want to dig it in the bottom. You want to make sure there's some juice on it so it comes up about halfway.
Okay.
That helps braise the meat really well, but also it just helps everything settle in. You don't mind if some onions are going to come to the top. You don't mind if some are on the bottom. Some will burn, some will caramelize, and it'll help develop a little bit of nuances with all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So now that this is coming up to a simmer, we essentially are set to start potatoing.
Okay.
So if you want to bring that whole cutting board over,
Yep.
and me and you can start layering this.
I have this same
and have
cutting
fun.
board.
Well, cut is a great,
I
great
checked
thing,
to
right?
make sure.
Exactly.
Yep.
So what we will do, and have you ever done scallop potatoes before?
Yes.
Okay. So we just want to go around here, and here's the thing. This is home cooking. We don't need this to be the most beautiful thing on the planet. We still want it to look good, but we are just going to essentially cover this whole dish. If you're afraid of it being a little too hot, people pull it off the side, but this is just barely simmering, and it's a deep Dutch oven, so we have some room.
Okay.
Okay.
So how many layers? Like
We're just going to do
layer?
one full layer all the way across the top. And these potatoes will start to sink on themselves, they will fall, and they will cook, and they will also golden brown on the top, because what we're going to do is we're going to take that leftover butter we have on the side, and we're going to brush that we melted earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to brush this over the top. And the reason is we want to add some more flavor because, as we know, fat is flavor, right?
Oh, butter's a lot.
Butter is a great thing, and you know I love butter. But the last part is we want to make sure that this is going to crisp up a little bit more.
My 5-year-old tries to sneak butter.
That's good.
Like I find little scoops, like finger scoops in our butter all the time. Like, what is she putting that on? Nothing.
Yep.
Nope.
Now, if you have excess potatoes like we do, you can always put these in some water, store them in your fridge. That'll help pull some of the starch out. You can fry them up and make some other things later.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So now that we have this all together, we can turn off our heat.
Okay.
We are essentially done with this dish on the front heavy part. We are going to put this in the oven now.
Yeah.
Now, as I do that, I'm going to pull out the finished one.
What you have done.
This one will go in here
And
at 350 degrees for an hour and a half, covered, uncovered, another 40 minutes.
Okay.
If you really need it to crisp up, you will put it under the broiler, and that will help. But as this cooks down, you're going to get some nice meat. And as you see, our herbs are still directly in the middle, which is perfect.
Success.
Yep. So we're not going to feed you any of that.
Boy, hand
Remember,
me that fork.
it's bone in.
Love it.
And try that out.
Jake's cooking is always the best, you guys. I'm taking a big bite here. Before I do that, we'll let you know that this recipe and more information about Jake is on our website at ka2.com. Come here, meat. That is amazing, Jake.
Good.
Every single one of his dishes, you guys, we have them all on our website at ka2.com. Love talking with my mouth full. Don't go away. Afternoon Live, we'll be right back.